I think it's a very big mistake of the Western mind, the Western European mind in particular, and perhaps the American too, to think at once when one uses the word sin that one is asking for a response in terms of guilt, to feel bad inside. That is not, in fact, when Patriarch Bartholomeus, who first used the phrase, and it comes very much from this Orthodox Christian background, since we are the religious group which has done a certain amount of the running on this issue, but particularly the reference to sin, is when you say something is a sin, what you're saying is that this is something which is unsatisfactory. You are in an existentially wrong stance and you should change that stance. Of course, you can't change all that stance at once, probably. That's true of most of us. And therefore, you may for a period of time feel bad about that. But that is not a reason for torture internally. It is a reason for action externally. A whole range of things that need to be done. That's exactly what sustainability is about. Therefore, there is not this necessary connection between the use of the word sin and tortured guilt. I mean, obviously one can define guilt in different ways, and obviously there are different layers of meaning of the word guilt. Certainly, guilt is used, as we all know, in law courts, and that's against a very specific range of accusations. Guilty as charged is usually the phrase used in the law court. And what I'm saying is that that makes sense as a metaphor when we speak about, let us say, that the climate change problem became evident in 1985, let us say. And let us say that for 25 years, some country in the world has not done something about it, and the problem gets worse. Without it being a legal issue, there is still there an ethical issue of guilt, which would put pressure on that country to make up in some way or another. When, however, we're talking about individuals, guilt very often is interpreted as a sort of searing internal misery, which effectively stops one from acting. And this is exactly the wrong approach. Acceptance of sin is an acceptance that one should change something existentially. That's exactly what the concept is in using the word sin, what the aim is in using the word sin. Not that we should start not change and get internally worried, but that we should start changing to the degree that we can. And of course, none of us can change totally, but we all can change to some degree.